Welcome to the Retrospect podcast, a show where people come together from different walks of life and discuss a topic from their generation's perspective. My name is Ian, and I am joined by the one and only, the man of the hour himself, Stoney.
Hello.
How are you doing, man?
Okay.
Yeah?
Almost well enough to come join you today.
Right. Oh, man.
Still have some trials to get through.
Yeah.
Can't drive yet, so I had to be dropped off.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it feels like it's been too long since we've been
It has been a while.
able to sit here and have an honest conversation over this table.
Today is actually Miranda and I's 1 month anniversary being married.
Man, 1 month already.
Yep.
Time flies.
And, so that puts me, almost a month post-op from the surgery.
Okay.
The tumor was extremely vascular.
Mm-hmm.
So when they took it out, it created a surgically induced stroke.
Oof.
So hopefully,
I think Miranda had mentioned that.
It'll be somewhat of a silent stroke.
Yeah.
And then there's some. It's interesting. I don't know all the medical nomenclature for it, but you have your scalp, then you have muscle, and then you have membrane between that and the actual skull.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as you can see from the scar here, they had staple here and here, a staple here and here, and a staple here and here. And so basically when they made the incision, and you see they can use that existing scar that I had right here on my head.
Right.
It came all the way up and down to a little below middle of my ear.
Right.
They had to pull everything back in a halo.
Oh, gosh.
And they take this, first they, the skin, then they fillet the muscle.
Yeah.
And then they have to do that membrane, and you take this little curved spatula type thing and pull all the skin back and then attach it to the halo.
Yeah.
And so I have 3 titanium plates and 12 screws.
Gosh.
To hold it all back together again.
Right.
And even though the scar is somewhat healing, the process of attaching all of these back to the skull is taking too long as far as I'm concerned.
You're right.
And they're saying that could take 2 to 3 months. And I'm like, it's numb. It was so tight at one time.
Yeah.
It felt like a drum. And then the way they did the sutures was it came to the connective bone to your ear.
Yikes.
Right in front of it. And so it seemed like every loud noise.
Oh, it was just like a megaphone.
It was like a megaphone straight into my ear. And it was so painful.
Man.
In the hospital, when I had the surgery and I go into ICU, they forgot to feed me.
Oh, man.
I've lost 30 pounds.
Yikes.
So for the first couple of days, they forgot to put me on a food plan.
Really? How do you forget?
I don't know, but I'd like to ask that question to somebody. So the nurses were trying to scrounge around for pudding, Jell-O,
oh man,
juice. That's not the best thing to give a diabetic anywhere.
Oh,
so here they're checking my blood sugar. It's through the roof. So every couple of hours they're coming in and injecting me with insulin. I'm like, how about y'all just find me some protein?
All right, just give me some chicken or something.
So I did not get the first meal until about an hour and a half before they discharged me.
Wow.
And it was supposedly their diabetic meal. Mm-hmm. And it was 1 egg, scrambled. All right. A little boat of grits.
Okay.
And some juice. And I'm going, let's carve this out. Other than the eggs, it's nothing but carbs.
A piece of sausage or something.
Right?
Anything.
And so then they discharged me, and Miranda's an angel. Mm-hmm. And she has been taking such good care of me.
That's good to hear.
Because, just the pain management did not get under control for the first week and a half to 2 weeks.
Right.
And finally that's somewhat under control unless I wait too long to take my medicine.
Right.
And then I'm just catching up.
Man.
And that's just insane.
That's no fun.
Right.
Well, I was gonna say whenever they had you all like cinched up, you ever seen someone have like a really tight bed, bounce a coin off of it?
You could have done that in my head.
I was gonna ask if I could bounce a coin off it.
And it's still 4 to 6 inches away from the incision.
Right.
It's still numb and stuff. But you also have to remember, if you're looking here at the bottom of the incision, that's all of your chewing muscles. So for 2 weeks, I couldn't even open my mouth all the way, and still it hurts to do it.
Yikes.
So I was having to kind of feed food
bird your way through, peck at it. Yeah, oh, man.
And, that felt kind of dumb, but
yikes.
We've made it through it.
I was gonna say, how we've talked on this show numerous times about creating an experience and creating a.
Well, this was definitely an experience.
It was like creating a meal experience.
I do not want to go through again.
Oh, I wouldn't even wish that on anybody.
So because of the way the tumor came out, it looks like they got it out in 2 pieces. It was extremely vascular.
Did you get to keep it in a little vial?
No. I got some cool pictures.
Really?
And the surgeon wants to, in 3 months, do all of the testing again. He believes he got it all out just to make sure there's nothing else growing.
Of course.
And make sure that that's when they'll determine whether I need radiation or not.
Okay.
So that'll be, we got 2 more months.
Right.
And then we'll do all that testing again. Now I have probably 15 doctor's appointments between now and then too. So hopefully this will be my last week out of work. Hopefully not this week, but the coming week I can go back to work.
Yeah.
And I'll still have a butt ton of doctor's appointments and
of course.
All of this to make sure everything's done and the scalp is attaching and
right.
Yeah.
I had mentioned it on the last episode with Dylan and Mallory, but it was nice to see you, just because I had previously saw you earlier that week, and it still looked like you were in a lot of pain. It still looked like you were sitting in your chair and you were just there, and I was like, man, I feel so bad right now.
I appreciated you coming by and checking on me too.
I wanted to come earlier, but I was like, I didn't want to overwhelm you because it was like right after the surgery, and I was like, I'm just gonna let you do your thing, and then I'll give it a few days, and then I'll come by and say hello. And then I still got to see you Sunday, like just up and moving around, and it made me really happy. You scared me. You scared the piss out of me. But I mean, you were. I was excited to see you just up and around, and you were.
But I get tired quick. That doesn't last long.
Yeah.
So I try to get around and move around to get my strength back and stuff, but it doesn't take long to tire me out.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. So, anyways, but it's we've both been going through. I went through some changes as well. I have a new job scene that I'm going.
How's that going for you?
It's going really well. It's a positive work environment, and it's more responsibility, but the structure of it's better.
Okay.
I feel like the workload's more.
You look happy.
I am happy. I feel really good. I feel really confident in myself and in the job that I'm doing now.
Okay.
And it feels very good to be here and not feel like I'm stressed and I don't know where I am or what day we're on. So, yeah. But I'm glad to hear that, like we've said numerous times before the surgery and even now, as you have people around you that were able to take care of you and able to help you out and able to kind of,
Well, we did one on support before. We did an episode on support.
Yeah, we did.
Really, in a time like this, you find out who cares about you, and who's going to come out of the woodwork to, look after you. And my work did that. You did that. And like I said, Miranda's an angel.
Right.
She is the absolute best.
Yeah.
I could not have asked for anybody better than her.
That's awesome. Wow. Well, yeah. Has anything else been going on in your life? Anything fun, while you've been, trying to recover? And you've been
I read a book or two.
Yeah.
I read an old book that I would like for Magnus to read, and I read it when I was his age. And it was called My Side of the Mountain. Have you ever heard of that book?
Mm-mm.
It's about a boy named Sam, and he runs away from home and goes to live on a mountain for over a year.
All right.
And it's a really good coming of age book.
Awesome.
And I didn't want to read anything that was
depressing.
Well, not just that, but that and just mentally exhausted.
Right.
I wanted to do something that I had some memories of.
Yeah.
So that I could actually gauge my memory. Because the stroke was in one of the duplicate memory areas of your brain.
Oh, that's scary.
And so I wanted to be able to gauge my memory or memory loss.
Right.
On this too. So that was kind of the purpose of reading that book.
Fun.
Then there was another book that I read that I basically had memorized.
Really?
And my memory seems to be still there.
That's good.
I get tired, though.
I bet, yeah.
And I just have to be real careful. That's why I haven't been released yet to drive.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. Is, they just want to make sure I'm back.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure your body's still trying to bounce back from all the trauma.
Yes.
So I can only imagine.
Man.
Man, that's crazy.
I couldn't even open my mouth for a while.
That's crazy.
Maybe a quarter of an inch.
Right.
And the pain would shoot straight up through there. And they weren't doing anything about pain management at first. Now, they did correct it. I will give them credit for that. When they realized it, they were like, oh, hey, that's not good. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So they changed a couple of things up, and it seemed to help.
I remember you had mentioned to me earlier that it was the pain was much worse than you ever anticipated.
Right.
That you thought that it was probably going to be one thing, and it turned out to be.
Well, we know, I'd like to think of myself as somewhat tough.
I think so.
So I was not expecting that. But when you look at the amount of damage that this surgery causes, I mean, they're basically filleting your scalps, the muscle and everything.
I think whenever you described it to me the first time, you said just filleting the meat on your head. And I was like, that just doesn't, those two things don't feel like they should go together.
Right.
I'm talking about this.
And it's very evasive.
Oh, yeah.
And then to think how many pieces of skull they took out and replaced with titanium and screws. And I have this great little picture X-ray of that.
So do you set off a metal detector now?
I don't know if I will or not because titanium is non-magnetic.
You're right.
So I don't know if it will or not. But you saw the incision and you saw the great work that the surgeon did to put all this back together. But they had to stretch it so far. To open it up, they had to stretch it back so tight to put it back. It was intense. It was definitely intense. I don't wish this on anybody.
No, dude.
No.
Definitely not.
But the way things work out, I had the strokes. They could find this. It was unrelated to that.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason. They said that had we waited a year to 2 to take it out, they could not have guaranteed because it was so vascular. They could have gotten the tumor out and kept me.
Oof.
So
yikes.
We're going to take it. We're going to keep pushing from there.
Right. And, I mean, especially because, I know you say you're not feeling well, or you don't feel probably 100% yet, but you look great. I mean, given the circumstances, you look wonderful. So it's I just...
It took about 2 weeks for my color to start coming back.
Right.
I still can't do my hair because I can't put hair product on the incision because it stings. Oh, Lord Jesus, it will set you free.
Yikes.
So I really can't, I have to, and
right.
Just,
all those little things.
It's
all those little things you don't think about until you have a huge scar on your head. Man.
So I've actually thought about going to my hairdresser and just kind of having her buzz cut the whole thing down.
Just to help the situation.
But me, I like my hair and I like doing it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It's day by day. The good Lord chose to keep me on this side of the dirt.
Right.
So we're going to keep plugging along. I'm glad to be back here with you. Because I appreciated, Dylan and Mal taking in. I appreciated Miranda filling in for me. But this is us. This is me and you.
Yes.
And it was hard listening to other people, even though y'all were all very kind and sweet.
Right.
It drove me crazy not to be here.
It's like, please, I want to be here. I want to have fun. I understand.
X-Man said a long time ago when he was still, on the show with us that this was therapy for him.
Yeah.
And it's true. It really is. We have a great pre-show and a post-show, and we talk.
Well, I mean, this whole show was founded on the fact that we were friends and colleagues first and foremost, and then, then we created something out of that. So it feels so intrinsic to what this show is.
It's interesting to see how far we've come in the year and
because we're past our year mark. That's crazy.
And that's just insane.
Yeah, you're right. Man. Can I talk about a little something that that happened to me over this weekend that I realized? So
hear me out.
Hear me out.
Hear me out.
So Mallory and I went shopping for stuff. She wants to get like autumnal stuff. She loves the autumn colors, the oranges.
It's festive.
It's festive.
It's very festive.
Even though down here
because you get to add the fall stuff,
right?
The Thanksgiving flavor, the Halloween flavor.
Yes.
You get to add all kind of
stuff.
She
loves all that.
Yes.
Like this time of year, whenever all that stuff happens, it's like her favorite. That and Christmas. So everything after summer is whenever she like gets cranked up in the top of the year. And I'm with her because I'm like, that's my favorite time of the year as well.
Because it also means hosting time.
Yes, it does.
Parties and dinners and family.
And trust me when I say I have so many cool ideas.
Have you barbecued since the last time we had that conversation?
Not since the 4th of July.
Okay.
But that went well though, and I want to do it again. I got the itch, but I do have some plans for you and X-Man that we'll talk about after the show. About I would like for you two to come over here and we make a little dinner and stuff.
Okay.
But her and I went shopping for some decorations and stuff. She wanted to go see what's around.
Do you go to Home Goods? Have you tried Home Goods?
I believe so.
Miranda loves Home Goods for the Halloween stuff.
Really?
So I don't know if that is
We went to Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
Which is a great store for that kind of stuff. It just has all that kind of stuff.
Take her to Home Goods.
Okay.
See if there's anything there.
Will do. But we went there, and one thing that I realized, I have a guilty pleasure, and it is candles. I don't know why. I realized this when I went there. She was going crazy over these decorations, little pumpkins, little scarecrow looking guys having a field day. And I didn't think I've never thought about this. I know that I liked candles, but until I was there with Mallory, and I was just sitting there like smelling candles, and I was like, oh, I want to buy this one. I ended up leaving with 2 candles.
Okay.
I don't need any more candles. I got enough candles. But she was like,
is that possible?
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I don't know. I just realized it though. I as we were talking there, she was like, you really like candles, don't you? And I was like, I don't think I like them that. And I was like, no, I think out of all the things I probably have a guilty pleasure for, it's candles, and I love them a lot. So I realized it over the weekend. So now I got
cool.
I got a nice pumpkin flavored candle. Scented, sorry. Flavor wasn't the right word.
It's all right.
I don't need candles, I promise.
What are you doing chewing that wax?
And then my favorite is like the tree, like the spruce ones, the fir, or like all those like tree scented candles. I just love that. It's my favorite. One of my new coworkers, her and I were talking about that. She kind of likes that more woodsy musk, kind of more like, I guess you'd attribute like manlier smells like to candles, which I also like as well. And she was like recommending me ones. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get this one. I got to get that. And I was like, so just a strange conversation to be having. So I realized that and had a real fun time. Is there anything in particular that you can think of that's like that you were?
I like candles. I really like incense. And I used to have a frankincense burner.
Really?
And that's really interesting. I like that kind of stuff. I don't like anything to kind of smell poorly.
Right,
I like a fresh scent on things, clothes, everything.
Of course.
That's why I don't like cigarettes. I don't mind a good cigar because that doesn't have all the chemicals in it. It's just pure tobacco. But I like candles.
I got something to tell you.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
I stumbled across a local place, and it is a cigar lounge and like bar kind of area, like a little hole in the wall place. Super nice. Okay. And I walked in there, and it smelled like these wonderful cigars, and had all this like really nice, expensive bottles of alcohol and stuff, whiskeys and wines and champagnes and stuff. And I walked in there, and I immediately thought of you. I was like, dude, I'll really take him here. It's so cool. And it had that kind of
places like that.
I know. And like, so the thing is, they had like a ventilated back room that had like a 2 like big like glass doors that would close, and it was like a bar, like kind of dimly lit, this kind of mood area, and it was like also like a cigar lounge area.
Okay.
And so I walked in and I was like, this place is so cool. So yeah, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. I like things smelling fresh, and and I don't know. I used to have like a little incense burning, like the little cone looking ones, little whatever, triangle looking guys, whatever. Those were really cool. Used to, all the smoke would like rise up and stuff like that. It's so cool to watch. But yeah. Anything else been happening with you?
Yeah, that's just it. Just recovering.
Yeah.
Just trying to get back into the swing of things, get back in, able to handle the Magnus show and, get back into it. I'm really ready to get back to work. I don't like being out of work like this.
Yeah. So you've been out of work for a whole month, though?
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, almost. And there's a lot of caution on going back to work.
Right.
Because of the way it was so vascular with the artery, I can't overheat. Because I can very easily overheat the brain and things like that and cause irreparable damage. Oof. So I have to be very careful. I can't even cut my lawn. I can't. That's why I'm not cleared to drive yet. I just,
Wow.
Hottie Doctor kind of takes me everywhere right now.
Yeah.
And like I said, she's a godsend.
Yeah, and, I bet.
But I'm ready. I'm ready to get back. I'm ready to get back into the swing of things. So, that's cool. I push too hard sometimes.
Right.
And they've cautioned me against that because some of these same doctors and stuff like that were around during the stroke, and they remember how hard I pushed. And for the stroke, it was kind of okay to push. This is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Magnus came one time with one of the visits with the surgeon.
Yeah.
And he said, "Did you tickle his brain?" And he's like, "Yeah, I reached right in there and went tickle, 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 tickle." And so that kind of opens you up to think about, my brain was exposed.
That is nuts.
And so that's
the thing that trips me up is you have told me already that you have metal plates in your head, but just knowing you, again, you don't look any different or any crazier. Or you don't look like you have metal plates in your head. So you say that, and I forget, you don't just have just a regular skull underneath there, and it's crazy to think about.
They tell you, don't even feel around for them yet because it hasn't healed yet.
Oh gosh, you don't want to. Can you unscrew your eye?
But if you look right here.
Okay. He's showing me a picture of his an X-ray of his skull.
Do you see that little manipulation right there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a plate.
Really?
And so
it's not super big.
No, they're probably $50, quarter to $50 size.
Okay.
And there's 3 of them in there.
Right. I guess whenever you say,
see, there's one here.
Yeah.
And then there's one right here facing a different direction.
Interesting. So they're just fusing the crack together, kind of.
I don't know.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
I don't know.
You just got little titanium band-aids across your skull.
That's 3 titanium plates.
Right.
12 screws.
I just imagine whenever you say that, I just imagine this half your head's a metal plate now.
There's a lady crazy. At work, Miss Sandy.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, you'll be upgraded now." And I said, "Yes, ma'am. And when I come back, I'll identify as Stoney 2.0. Nice. I want everybody to call me Stoney 2.0 after this."
I love it. So that's so funny, dude. Man, that's crazy. What a fun time.
It's definitely interesting.
The next big thing that I have is my vacation in September.
That's right around the corner.
Yes, it is. I think we got just about 2 weeks. I think starting this Monday, we're going to go to Disney, Mallory and I, and I haven't gone on a vacation in 4 years.
Wow.
I'd had some planned, but then the pandemic kind of threw everything into a spiral. Right. So I had probably been without a vacation, time off and getting out of the state or, traveling significantly in probably 2 years or so. And then I had had plans, to do that. And then, you just throw a wrench in the system with that.
Right.
And with the job that I have, I couldn't guarantee that I could be back, and I need to be there in person to do a lot of the work that I do, a lot of the production stuff. So I didn't feel confident that even towards the tail end of the pandemic, I was just nervous still that it's just that what if I get there and then for some reason I can't get back. And I couldn't bet on that. But now I definitely feel more inclined that I'm okay.
You're more confident in what's going on around you. And that's good.
Exactly. That I can take a vacation like that and I'll be fine. And even still, the work at this new job is nowhere near the same extent. So even if an emergency was to happen, it still won't be. There are checks and balances in place that can make it to where I don't need to be there if need be, which is kind of cool.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. This is the first vacation in a while. And
that's good. I can't wait for you to go and enjoy yourself. And you'll look even more rested and more happy.
Yeah. I'm excited. We've been planning. Because it's Disney, we like splurged on some really fine dining plans. Some really great restaurants we got reservations for as soon as we could. And because that's the main thing we're going there for, is just to eat some great food and experience all the sights and to see everything. We didn't probably I don't think we splurged a whole lot on the room, but regardless, well,
you shouldn't be in the room that much anyway, right?
Exactly. That's what that was our what's the word I'm looking for? That was our excuse for the situation. Right. We're not going to probably be there anyways. Just a place to lay our head at night, and then of course we'll be right back at it again the next morning. And so we spent a lot of the money on the other aspect of it,
the entertainment, the doing stuff, the experience part.
Exactly, and we financed it probably. I don't want to say it was 6 months ago. I want to say it was like 4 or 5 months ago that she and I split it down the middle, and we paid it off this past paycheck.
Okay.
This past week, we both did our last deposits on the trip. So the trip is paid off. I mean, obviously, when we get there, we're going to probably put some more.
Absolutely.
We've allocated more for like souvenirs, the dining experiences and stuff, because we have to pay in the moment for that kind of stuff. But the big thing is like the big expenses, the travel expenses of getting there, the lodging, all that's already paid for. And so it just feels so nice to be able to like, we're going to go this. Now that it's fully paid off and we're good, I'm like, now I just want to go now. And again, we still have like a couple weeks, but now I'm in that headspace of like, I gotta get some things packed, or I gotta, figure out what I'm going to bring. I gotta make sure I have enough, shampoo or whatever, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But y'all are flying, right?
We are. Yeah.
You gotta remember, you can only
I gotta get 3 little bottles. Mallory's got all kinds of lotions and whatnot, so she was going to get a variety pack of little tubes and labels or whatever and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, that's the big thing that's happening for me in the next few weeks. So, but yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm glad to hear that you're back in action a little bit.
A little bit. But I'm back. Yeah.
I was gonna say earlier, whenever you were talking about overworking yourself, I was gonna say Stoney, like. Nah, him, working hard and probably pushing himself like past that point. That's not him at all. I was like, I know, and that's exactly sarcasm fully intended, because I know that you're a trooper. And then
I don't like not being able to cut my own lawn. Come on,
right? Come on, right.
But it's interesting, and it's going to be okay. It is going to be okay.
That's good.
God kept me on this side of the dirt for a reason. So it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
I just have to slowly get where I need to be. Work is not pushing me. They understand the severity of what happened and what's going on.
That's so great to hear. You have a place that can really look after you like that in this situation. So when are you and Hottie Doctor going to go on a trip? What do you
Well, we got married a couple of days before the surgery.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't want to go under.
Right.
Not be married to her.
Right.
And so what we're going to do is I'm going to heal up. And I'm going to get back to, fighting strength.
Right.
And then I think we'd like to redo the ceremony and have a party and then go on a honeymoon together.
That's awesome.
And I'm thinking Hot Springs in Arkansas.
Oh, there you go.
Where they have this big crystal mine and this diamond mine. I would really like to find a big, quartz crystal or something together.
Yeah.
And put it on a plaque or something and say found on our honeymoon, Oh,
that's cool.
I just think that would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And then spend some of the time, together.
Oh, right.
But I just think that would be fun.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun. Well, here's to that. I hope that dream comes to fruition.
But I got to get back to strength.
Right.
Get my body back into action. And I lost a lot of muscle through this process.
Right.
For 2 weeks I was literally in the bed or on a chair in a lazy boy.
Right.
When you showed up a couple times, you found me just laid back on the recliner, and that is not me.
Right.
I don't like recliners. I don't like that. But I had to do it. I knew I had to do it.
Right.
I knew I had to do it to get back.
Go against what you think or what you feel like you have to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's going to be all right.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad that we were able to have just this little episode together.
Yes.
We could just talk and just get back into a little bit of a rhythm.
And in a week, I should be better. And, maybe we can pick a good subject.
Yeah.
And hash it out.
I love it.
Cool. And see what we can do.
Well, thank you so much for listening. And thank you so much for sticking with us through these tribulations, because I know it can be crazy at times, and all that kind of stuff. Your patience has been greatly appreciated. If you're looking to reach out to us, we have a Facebook page /Retrospect Pod. You can reach out to us that way. Give us comments, give us your good wishes, all that kind of stuff. Or you can just type in Retrospect on any of the major podcasting platforms, and you should be able to find us that way. But until next week, thank you so much for listening again. Bye-bye.
Peace.